He came to defend Islam with one word: monotheism. But when Big Jon Steel asked, why not polytheism? The answer stopped making sense. From there, it got predictable. He tried to attack Christianity, but Big Jon reminded him, this isn't about disproving other religions. It's about proving your own. When the arguments ran out, all he had left was intuition. But can feelings prove truth? This is just a highlight. The full debate is linked in the description. Make sure to subscribe for more truth-driven content, and check out Big Jon Steel's channel for full-length live debates. Oh, and stick around, because I'll be sharing 3 key takeaways at the end of this video.
I'm basing my arguments on the Quran, on my scripture. And that scripture says that the argument that Allah poses, if there was indeed 3 gods, or there was polytheism, then therefore those gods would fight to be the most powerful.
Okay.
Because to be
Yeah.
God,
So that's the same argument everybody brings to me. So it's a very simple answer. It's logically
Yes.
possible that you could have 3 gods that are infinitely good. Because they are infinitely good, they never fight each other.
you cannot be infinitely good and infinitely powerful.
Why
Because
not?
then it would entail that one God would have to be more good than
Why?
the others.
Why?
Because there can't be infinite power and infinite goodness at the same time.
Why not?
Because if 3 different beings have infinite power and infinite good, then one would try to do more good than the others. They can't just all be equal. One would
You're
always
just
try to
stating that
supersede
if
the
it
other one.
has to be a fact, you're not giving me a reason why. And so again, if they're all infinitely good and all infinitely power, they all just collectively agree to do the same thing at the same time because they are infinitely good and have infinite power.
But you're assuming that there has to be a collective agreement.
I'm not assuming
there
that
has
it
to be
has to be a
agreement?
collective agreement. I'm saying it's logically possible. So even I'm
And-
not
and it's
saying
logically-
I'm not
it's
saying hold
logically
on,
plus-
listen, Linda, listen. Something being
My name
logically
is Sharif, by the way, not Linda. Sharif.
You.
Okay.
All right, got it.
Okay,
All right, cool. So now it's logically possible. That doesn't mean it's evidentially true, right? I'm not saying this
Okay.
is a true statement. I'm saying it's logically possible. So if you're saying that we have to have a religion that's monotheistic because they would fight, what I have to ask you is how would you know they would fight? Because I can give you a logical possibility that shows that they would not fight. So how would you know?
I just gave you a logical possibility where they would fight. So
Right,
this would entail
but I can give you a
that your
logical
argument-
possibility they wouldn't.
And
So it
did
doesn't
you just
mean
Did you just give it to me? Did you just give it to me?
yes, there's a logical possibility that they wouldn't fight. So if there's a logical
so-
possibility they wouldn't fight, then that doesn't mean I have to believe that they would fight, right?
Okay, John. So this is where we come into an impasse.
It's not an impasse.
You've
Okay,
got
let
your
me.
belief.
I don't think
Here's
you
an
understand.
impasse.
I don't think
You've
you
got your
understand the
belief.
logic. I'm going to explain the logic to
I've
you.
got my belief.
I'm going to explain the logic to you. My shirt is blue, correct?
Yes.
Okay, is it logically possible that my shirt could have been red?
Yes.
Okay, so simply stating, hey, my shirt is blue because it could only be blue, wouldn't be an argument, would it?
No, it's a fallacy.
Right.
Yes,
It's
I
a
understand.
fallacy. Cool. So if you say God couldn't be multiple gods because they would fight, well, I give you a logical possibility it could be something else, then therefore your argument does no longer work. You have to give me some sort of evidence, an evidential or deductive argument that says that it's the only logical way, or the most evidence that say, hey, it's the most probable way that the gods would fight if there was multiple.
But when I state that if 3 gods or multiple gods have infinite power and are infinitely good, and I say one of them will eventually be more good than the others, and this will cause a disadvantage to the other ones.
Right, but you're just
Doesn't
saying
that
that. You're not
suggest
giving
that
me.
one would
You're
be-
not giving me a reason why they would do that. Why can't they just be infinitely
because-
good and stay infinitely good and never try to compete with each other?
Because are we assuming that these gods have created humanity?
Sure.
Okay, so if we assume that these gods have created humanity, and within humanity, you as well as me believe that we've got God's essence, then God's essence will determine that our behavior
I don't
is to compete with each other.
I don't agree we have God's essence.
Oh, we're not made in the image of God then.
That's not what that means in the Christian worldview.
Oh, so it means physically,
No,
according to you.
nope,
In the Christian world, it means to have attributes of God, to
nope,
be kind, to be good.
nope,
No, it doesn't.
no, it
So
doesn't.
you're telling me 7 years of Catholic education have not worked on me yet.
No, I'm
I
telling you,
haven't
you didn't
studied enough.
understand what they said to you.
Okay, so could you please explain
No,
what does
because
it mean
that's
then?
not the topic today. You're asking me to agree to something I don't agree in.
I don't want you to agree on anything. I'm giving you the same argument that your faith uses in order to explain a
But I
situation
just
between human behavior
remember what
and
I
God.
conceded. Remember what I conceded at the start of the conversation. I said you said, hey, the Trinity is illogical. I said, fine, Trinity is illogical. I left the Christian faith. So why are you using Christianity?
Why am I using? Why should you believe in Islam? You mean?
Why are you trying to use Christianity to prove Islam? Prove Islam on its own merits.
Because I'm not trying to prove Islam is more truthful than the other. I'm trying to prove that there's a good reason for it. Because if you have a good reason for Christianity, then the same reason can be
What
applied
you're
to
doing is
Islam.
called a whataboutism fallacy. You're basically saying, hey, we believe it, but what about them? They also believe it. That's a whataboutism fallacy. It doesn't prove something to be true.
But it is because you're saying there's no good reason. So you're
There
stating
is
your
no good
premise is
reason.
that there's no good reason. But you're no
Correct.
good reason. But your no good reason is also applied to your own belief. So your belief has also no good reason. So
Again,
that's
we're
my
not
main
debating
argument.
my belief. You're trying to bait me. You're trying to upset me by saying, "Hey, your faith doesn't also have no belief, right?" And so
I'm not trying to upset you.
you're trying to bait me into finally getting into the point where I'm going to defend my faith and say, "Yes, there is a good reason," and we can have a whole conversation why there is a
No,
good
no,
reason. No,
no.
listen, Linda, let me finish. There's a good reason for my faith. It's 100% a good reason. If you want to talk about it, come back on Monday and we will talk about it and I will defend my faith and I will show you logically consistency within my faith, within the Trinity, with the whole 9 yards. I will do that for you, but that is not the topic tonight. So can you prove Islam without talking about Christianity or not?
Okay. No. I'm not knowledgeable enough. So
Right.
apologies
So
for wasting your time.
you've just showed me what every other Muslim has showed me, that you guys actually do not have a valid reason to be Muslim. Here's your guys'
I do
argument.
have a valid reason.
Here's every one of the Muslims' arguments that have ever come up. Christianity is false, therefore Islam is true. That's your guys'
No,
only argument.
no. My logical reasoning is that polytheism is less likely than monotheism, and
Why?
Christianity, and that's just my deduction, isn't it? That's just my logical
That's not
reasoning.
deductive. That's intuition.
How is it not deductive? Okay, okay.
Because you're not giving an
Sorry,
argument.
I'm so sorry. So then, my intuition.
Well,
I'm not going
intuition's a
to use
bad
any
reason to
logical
believe
argument.
things.
Therefore, it is about reason. But my intuition is saying that I should believe in
Intuition's a
something
bad reason to
monotheistic.
believe things because people intuitively have wrong feelings all the time. People all the time have bad intuitions.
Right. So if I want to explore other religions and none of the other religions convince me because of my own intuition, then if one truly convinces me,
Intuition is a bad reason to be convinced of things.
if all of the other ones do not convince me, but then one convinces me, then does that mean that my intuition is wrong across the whole
I
board?
that's not what I said. I'm just saying if the only reason you believe something to be true is because intuitively it seems true to you, that's a bad reason. That
I
is what I am
understand.
saying. Yes.
Then my argument would be that Christianity does not fully, sorry, no. Other religions do not fully explain pure monotheistic
Right, but you're assuming
views.
monotheism.
I assume monotheism is the best. Yes.
Yeah, that's intuition. You're
Okay.
saying I have this intuition and other places don't explain it the way I like it, so therefore they're wrong.
Logically, there wouldn't be able to be more than one God because then. Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Oh, my bad. I said logically, I use intuition in order to ascertain an understanding of something. Is that wrong?
Yes, it's
In order
wrong.
to understand something.
So
So to understand something.
intuition is a base. You start on intuition. You start with an intuition of something, and then you test that
Okay.
intuition to see if it's consistent. So, for example, we have intuitions to drink water, right? That's an intuition. It's built into us. We intuitively seek out water and want to drink it. But then what do we find out? When we drink water, we get healthier, we're better. It's actually part of the world. If we don't drink water, we're going to get sick and we're going to die. So we say, hey, inductively, this works because we have evidence that shows that it is good. It's something that we should do.
How do we intuitively drink water when everyone is born drinking milk?
Humans intuitively seek out drinking water.
No, humans intuitively seek out drinking other moms.
If you're going to make this, argument,
breast.
I'm going to move on because it's probably one of the dumbest things that people have contested with me ever. All right. And if you're going to argue with me that humans don't intuitively seek out water, you're just trying to win arguments for the sake of winning arguments. Just concede that people intuitively drink out water. It's best for everybody.
But why though? It doesn't make sense.
All right. God bless, man. Have a great day. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how far he wants to go for the conversation debate. He's not willing to concede the fact that humans intuitively want to drink water. That's an intuition that humans want to drink water.
Let's break it down. Here are 3 key takeaways from today's debate. First, you can't prove Islam by attacking Christianity. Disproving another belief doesn't automatically make yours true. Every claim needs to stand on its own evidence. Second, appealing to monotheism doesn't make Islam unique or true. Without an objective reason why polytheism couldn't be valid, the argument falls flat. Third, intuition isn't a foundation for faith. It's personal, emotional, and wildly inconsistent. Truth demands more. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. And don't forget to check out Big Jon Steel's channel for full debates and unfiltered truth. Until next time, keep asking hard questions and following the evidence wherever it leads.